Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today we are talking about the first week of the NFL season. That's right, Nick's picks of the week is back for the 2024 to 2025 season. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Let's get into this video. I'm very excited to be able to say football's in 2 days. 2 days we got football. And that will be the Ravens versus the Chiefs. It's in Arrowhead. It's gonna be a little bit of a tough game. I think this Ravens offense might take a game or two to get on click. I am gonna go with the Chiefs because a lot of their weapons are the same as last year. The Ravens have, obviously Mark Andrews coming back from injury. Defensively, they lost Patrick Queen. They lost a few other guys as well. Adding Derrick Henry, that's definitely gonna be a plus. But I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs winning Week 1. They beat them in the playoffs. Obviously, I think the Ravens could beat the Chiefs, but I think just because of continuity, I am gonna go to Kansas City Chiefs. And they get better. They added at key positions. They lost guys as well, but I think they added at key positions. You got Rashee Rice, you got Xavier Worthy, you got Travis Kelce still, you got Isaiah Pacheco, the offensive line. I think the Chiefs offensively are gonna be able to outmuscle the Ravens. I think the Ravens it'll be a good game. But I'm gonna go Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not gonna do score. I'm gonna do the game. Next we have the Patriots at the Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals. The Patriots may be one of the worst rosters in the NFL. The Bengals, say what you want about him, but Jamar Chase is probably going to play week 1. I don't think he's going to sit out any games. I think he's going to play. You got T. Higgins playing on his franchise tag. You got rid of Joe Mixon. You got Chase Brown being your starter there. Tight end is still a question mark. I'm going to go with the Bengals because I do think that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins is enough to win this game. The Patriots, as much as I love Jacoby Brissett, this roster is depleted, right? They're in the middle of a rebuild. You drafted Drake May, number 2 or number 3 overall. Number 3 overall. You drafted Drake May. He's not starting. You have Jacoby Brissett to be that starter. You have a rough offensive line. This Bengals D-line is still pretty solid, even after losing DJ Reader. I'm going to go with the Bengals winning against the Patriots. And I think it's not really that much of a hot take. Then we got Jaguars at Dolphins. Call me interesting. Battle of Florida. I'm going to go to Jaguars. As much as I think the Dolphins are going to be able to run the score up on the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think the Jaguars defense got better this year. Also offensively, you add Gabe Davis, you add Brian Thomas Jr., you add an offensive lineman, you sign your guys back. You obviously saw Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence. I think this Dolphins defense is depleted, man. It's bad. They have a lot of injured guys coming back from torn ACLs, torn Achilles. As much as I like Chop Robinson, I just think this Jaguars offense is gonna be able to do what they want to this defense. Now, again, I think the Dolphins will definitely score 24 to 35 points. I think that's the spread that I would go with, is over 24, under 35. But I think the Jacksonville Jaguars offensively have so much firepower. Yes, the Dolphins have Devon Achane coming back from injury, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I think the Jaguars, though, their defense is a little bit better. Their offense matches up with their defense as well. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars in this Week 1 matchup. Then we got Texans at Colts. I'm going to go Texans. You guys know I'm an Anthony Richardson guy. I love Anthony Richardson. He's on my dynasty team. He's on almost all my fantasy teams as well. But I think the Houston Texans, they're kind of having that 2019 Cleveland Browns vibe, where they kind of put all their chips in the corner of this rookie deal quarterback. They saw had a good year 1. Let's try and win a championship within the first 4 years. And then, pay the quarterback whatever money we got to pay him. I see what they're doing. I like it. Defensively, though, there's a lot of holes. I think the Colts are a team that could take advantage of those holes. They're a very motion-heavy, run-heavy team. And the Texans' defensive line, outside of Will Anderson Jr., is pretty rough. Their secondary, not too bad. Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley. But their linebackers, you got Azeez Ojulari. I just think the defensive line is going to be a little bit of a rough matchup against Anthony Richardson and against Jonathan Taylor. Also, you got to always mention Adonai Mitchell, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman. They have a really good roster. I think the Colts definitely make this a good game, but I think the Houston Texans, the only weakness I see for them is that defensive line. So if the Colts do win, it'll be winning by the run game. But I think that the Texans are going to score too many points. The Colts would have to throw the ball, and that's where the Texans' defense is their strong suit. So I'm going to go Houston Texans. Then we got Colts versus Chargers. I mean, not Colts. Raiders versus Chargers. I'm going to go to the Chargers. I'm very high on the Chargers this year. I'm very low on the Raiders this year. having Justin Herbert, you add Brendan Rice, you have Quentin Johnston still, you bring in a bunch of running backs as well from college. You got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards on top of that. I like this team. I like the Chargers team. Their defense is still a little bit of a rough spot, but its offense, I see a lot of promise in. Really good offensive line, really good quarterback, okay weapons who have a lot to prove. But I do think the Chargers will be able to do what they can with this offense. Justin Herbert will just raise the level of these guys around him. The Raiders, they have Gardner Minshew at quarterback. That's tough. You lost Josh Jacobs. You lost Richie Incognito. You know, Devontae Adams doesn't want to be on this team. He's only there because he has to be. Defensively, it's still a question mark. I'm going to go to the Chargers. I think they'll be able to do what they want to the Raiders. And they start off with a win in Jim Harbaugh's career. Good for him. Next, we have the Titans at the Bears. I'm going to pick the Bears, man. I liked what the Bears did all offseason. I like the Caleb Williams pick. I like the Roman Dunze pick. I like all their draft picks, all their signings. DeAndre Swift was a little bit of a question mark, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, $24 million over 4 years, it's whatever. You know, $6 million a year ain't horrible. The Titans on the other side, a lot of changing. New head coach, new OC, new DC. Lots of changes, right? A lot of guys left, a lot of new guys. I think it's going to take a few weeks from the gel. Will Levis, obviously, is now the starter in year 2. You know, DeAndre Hopkins is there. I just think it's going to be a lot of new things. Kind of like with the Ravens to a more extent, right? I think the Bears can win by a lot because their new pieces are rookies, right? It's mostly rookies. The Titans' new pieces are all veterans, right? I think it'd be quicker for the rookies to get to the game plan and play than for the veterans who are used to one system, move over, new head coach, new OC, new way of running it, and it's just different, right? I think the momentum is in the Bears' favor. I like their defense better. I like their offense better. I think Caleb Williams is a better quarterback. I think they have better weapons. I like the Bears. I love Shane Waldron. I'm excited to see what the Bears can do this year, man. Then we got Steelers at Falcons. I'm gonna go the Atlanta Falcons, without a doubt. I don't like how I had the Ravens and Steelers lose, but it's the matchups, right? I don't think the Falcons can lose to Arthur Smith. That's the first thing. Second thing, you have Russ as your starter. I like this secondary against Russell Wilson at this stage of his career. Third thing, I love this Falcons offense versus this Steelers defense. The Falcons, you got Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry holding down the tackle spots. Really good tackles. You have all the weapons in the world, and you have Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I think the Falcons can do a really good job this year at winning 9, 10, 11 games and being in contention for the division. I don't see that for the Steelers. I do think the Atlanta Falcons start off the season with a W. The Steelers, you have Joey Porter, you have Minka Fitzpatrick, you have TJ Watt, but I just think the firepower from this offense is too much to handle, and I think the defense for the Falcons is just going to be able to manhandle this offense for the Steelers. You lost Deontay Johnson. You only have George Pickens, Najee Harris, a mismatched offensive line of guys that aren't working at right guard. Let's try them at left guard. They don't work at right tackle. Let's try them at center. I think there's too much of that going on. They might win their first game or two and then get back on track. But the Falcons, I think, start out really hot. Then Cardinals at Bills. I love the Cardinals, man. I think they'd be really good this year. I'm going to go the Buffalo Bills. I think they're just the better team. To me, they're going to win the division, in my opinion, of the AFC East. I love the Cardinals this year. I think they can be really good. I think the Cardinals can easily have 10, 11 wins. But for me, I do think the Buffalo Bills are going to win week 1. The Cardinals, again, a lot of young guys coming in. Basically a whole new secondary. Offensively, I think they'll be fine. Defensively is where I have my issues. A new defensive tackle, bunch of new corners, bunch of new safeties. I think the Bills will be able to do what they want against these young guys. They're just kind of, getting their reins in the NFL still. They haven't even played a game yet. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen is gonna be the out muscle this defense. Offensively, the Cardinals are set. I really like their offense. Defensive front seven is where I still have my issues, and that's why I think the Bills will be able to feast. You have Dalton Kincaid. You have Keon Coleman. I like what the Bills can do this upcoming season, especially against a Cardinals team that lacks in the front seven. Then we got Broncos at Seahawks. This one's a little bit hard. I think either team could win. I'm going to go the Seahawks winning, but I think easily the Broncos could win. So far, that might be the closest matchup between the Ravens and Chiefs. And maybe, I think that besides the Ravens Chiefs, this is the toughest game to choose. I like the Seahawks. I like Mike McDonald. I think this defense will be much improved. Offensively, though, you still have Geno Smith. You know what he's limited at. He's a fringe top 15 quarterback, the most average quarterback in the league as a starter. Not horrible. But what can Bo Nix be, right? I was the biggest hater of Bo Nix going into the draft process. If you need 6 years in college to prove that you're a starter in the NFL or even draftable, that's a little rough, right? 6 years in college football, going up against 18, 19, 20-year-old guys as a 24-year-old. Come on now. Now you're in the NFL with guys in their 30s. How good can you be? He looked really good in preseason. I think Bo Nix could be a really good quarterback for them if the right things happen. I'm going to bet, though, on Mike McDonald and his defense at giving him like looks that he thinks are something and are actually something else, right? I'm excited to see, is it Devon Witherspoon on that team? I think it is, because Christian Gonzalez went to the Patriots. I want to see Devon Witherspoon with Mike McDonald, the king of the Rover system. I'm excited to see what the Seahawks defense can do. Offensively, we'll see what Geno Smith can do. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Broncos win week 1. Cowboys at Browns. I'm going Browns. It's at Browns. If it was at Dallas, I might go Dallas. But the Dallas Cowboys, they lost too much in the regular season. Zeke is now their starting running back again. It's rough, man. They lost a lot in the offseason. They lost Tony Pollard, lost pieces on the offensive line, lost defensive secondary guys like Stephon Gilmore. You have Trey Diggs coming back from injury. Deron Bland is hurt, I believe. I don't know if he's going to be out, but I know he's dealing with an injury right now. Micah Parsons is still a good tackle. I mean, a good edge rusher. Not saying anything. I think he'll still get to the quarterback. But I think this Browns defense is going to make hell for the Cowboys offense. They're going to double team CeeDee Lamb the entire game, and no one else is going to get open. This secondary for the Browns is championship level. Like, Martin Emerson, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Miles Harden, Grant Delpit, Juan Thornhill, and all the guys behind them. Amazing secondary. Front four, pretty good. I like our pass rush. Linebacker is my question mark. I love JOK, but after Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, there's no one. So I think the Cowboys could definitely put up points, but I'm going to go the Cleveland Browns winning. I think it's going to be at least by 2 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a blowout. I really do think the Browns are going to be really good. It's at home as well. Man, I really think they're going to win this game by a lot. Jets at 49ers. I'm going to go 49ers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is back. The Jets have improved in the offseason. The 49ers are the 49ers. Not much I can say there. They only improve every offseason. Like, they added in a Jordan Elliott. They added in, I believe, a pass rusher as well. Their draft picks as well look really good in preseason. You got CMC, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Brock Purdy, you got the offensive line, and that defense. They're going to win games. I think they're going to beat the Jets. The Jets could be good this game, but I'm going to go with the 49ers pretty easily. Then in the Brazil game, Packers at Philadelphia. I'm going to go Philadelphia. I do think the Packers could win. I'm going to go Philadelphia, though. So, I want to see what Jordan Love can be for a full season before I start putting him as a winner, right? When it comes to the Eagles, we know what they are, right? We know what their offense is. We know what their defense is. They're a solidified top 15 offense, top 10 defense. They're going to win 10, 11 games. The Packers, though, are a question mark. I think they could win this game. But if I'm going to put money on it, I'm putting money on the Eagles. I like their team. I like that they brought back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I like their draft picks. The Packers did good. I'm really trying to make this like not a Packers diss, but I think the Eagles just have something, right? Like we know what the Eagles are. The Packers were a question mark. Jordan Love played bad half the last season, played amazing the second half. What Jordan Love are we going to get? So I'm putting my money on the Eagles. Next, we have Panthers at Saints. I'm going to go to the Carolina Panthers. You guys can see I like the home teams a lot. The Carolina Panthers are going to be one of the teams that break that. I love what they're doing in Carolina. The Saints, I hate what they're doing. I think the Saints could be the very first head coach fired. Would be Dennis Allen. I love what the head coach of the Panthers is doing. I'm blanking on his name, of course. I did this last video. New head coach, quarterback whisperer. He fixed Baker Mayfield. He fixed Geno Smith. Helped Russ have his best years of his career. He's going to help Bryce Young. We already saw in the preseason, we saw a lot of play action motion with Bryce Young. That's what he did at Alabama. That's what he was successful with. So I think they're going to build to Bryce Young's strengths and prove why he's still a really good quarterback. I think the Carolina Panthers, I said in my record prediction, I think they can stick it to the playoffs. I think they can go 9-8 and stick it to the playoffs. That's my prediction. I think the Panthers are going to blow out the Saints. I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis Allen is the first head coach fired in the NFL season. Next, we have the Vikings at Giants. I am going to go to the Minnesota Vikings. The Giants is because of Daniel Jones. You lost Saquon Barkley. You have Daniel Jones at quarterback. You did gain Malik Neighbors, and you do have a couple of wide receivers I do like. But you got Daniel Jones with no Saquon Barkley. Your defense is pretty okay. You got a pretty okay defense. The Minnesota Vikings, I think, have a better defense, though. The Minnesota Vikings also have Justin Jefferson. They also have a pretty solid running back room with Aaron Jones and Alexander Madison. They also have TJ Hawkinson, who I don't think is going to play this game, actually. They got Jordan Addison as well. Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones are probably about a wash, but I think Sam Darnold is a little bit better. They have a better coach. I like Kevin O'Connell more than I like Brian Daboll. I still like Brian Daboll, but I think KOC is a little bit better. I like what the Vikings are doing. I think they're going to win this game. Will they win a lot of games? Probably not. But I think they're going to win this specific game. I like the matchup. I like what Brian Flores is doing in Minnesota with that zone-heavy scheme. I'm going to see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants win. But, again, because of Daniel Jones with no Saquon Barkley, I'm going to go to the Minnesota Vikings. Next, we have the Commanders at Buccaneers. This is a tough one. I'm going to go Buccaneers. But, prove me wrong. I think the Commanders will win this game. I'm going to say Buccaneers, but I 100% believe the Commanders will win this game. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I think the Commanders can win this game. I believe that because I think Jaden Daniels is that special. As you can see, the only team that did not win is the Broncos because they had Bo Nix. I'm not high on Bo Nix. The Falcons won because of Kirk Cousins. I think the Commanders win because of Jaden Daniels. He was amazing in preseason, had a really good training camp. You got Terry McLaurin. You got Brian Robinson. You upgraded at tight end. The offensive line got a little bit of an upgrade. The defense got a little bit better. I think the Commanders can win this game and shock the NFL. Like, oh, this is a new regime of the Commanders. The Buccaneers could win, but I fully believe the Commanders will win this game, whether it's by a field goal, whether it's by 1 point. I think the Commanders, I can see Jaden Daniels right now celebrating his first win as an NFL player. I might be crazy. I think the Commanders have what it takes to win, though. Then Rams at Lions. I'm going to go to the Detroit Lions. The Lions beat the Rams in the playoffs. I think they'll beat them again in the first week of the season on Monday Night Football. It's too poetic, right? It's too poetic. Or Sunday Night Football, sorry. Sunday Night Football. It's too poetic for them to lose this game. I think the Lions are going to have the best record in the NFC this year. That was my prediction. The Rams, I like what they're doing. You got Blake Corum, you have Kyron Williams, Puka, Jordan Whittington, Cooper Kupp. But defensively, you lost Aaron Donald. That is a loss. It just straight up is a loss. I love Braden Fisk. I love Jared Verse. Can they, game one, make up for what Aaron Donald did by himself? I don't think so. You also lost your blitzing linebacker, Ernest Jones. You lost your number one linebacker. Your defense took a hit. I think throughout the year, it could get better. But I think week one, the Detroit Lions, they have all the momentum. They lost almost no one important in the free agency. They only added. I think the Detroit Lions win this by a good margin. So that is my prediction for week one. That's Nick's picks of the week for week one. So the AFC West, you got Chargers as the 1 seed, Chiefs as number 2, Raiders and Broncos lose, Bengals and Browns win, Ravens and Steelers lose, Texans and Jaguars win, Colts and Titans lose, Bills win, everyone else loses in the AFC East. Then the NFC side, Panthers win, Falcons win, Saints and Bucks lose, Lions, Vikings, and Bears win, Packers lose, Eagles, Commanders win, Giants, Cowboys lose, Seahawks, 49ers win, Rams, Cardinals lose. That is just a week one. This is not an indication of the season. I want to make sure that's known. Packers fans, don't be mad at me. Bucks fans, Ravens fans, don't be mad. It is week one. I think a lot of these teams could lose a lot of games, but week one, I like the matchup. If you guys do enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell to be notified when I post next. If you see something different, if you think maybe the Jets could upset the 49ers Monday Night Football, if you think the Packers could win in Brazil, or the Miami Dolphins beat the Jaguars, let me know in the comments. Again, if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.